Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Is everything clear? I think it's a little bit noisy outside, but is everything clear? Are we good? Please let me know if it is good or not. Please let me know in the chat box. Are we good here? All right. So today we are coming to lesson 6 already. So for lesson 6, actually we are talking about the revision for the previous 5 lesson. All right. Let's just take a look at the previous 5 lessons, what we are actually talking about. For example, first we talk about what's problem 3. It basically focuses on the fraction, right? And then also we talk about working backwards and periodic problems, all right, which is very, very challenging and also a very common topics in GEP. Then for the calculation, we talk about the arithmetic sequence and the comparison and replacement topics. Also, we talk about the numbers and statistics. Then again, for this part, yeah, it's very, very crazy and difficult one, right? Then we talk about the numbers theory, including division involving remainders and divisibility. Today, we go to the last day of the advanced modular bootcamp, the last day, which is about the revision of the previous 5 lessons. So for this previous 5 lesson, we go through more than 60 more questions. More than 60 more questions. So for more than these 60 more questions, we find out that several topics is very challenging for you to do it, which means now we will just go through it step by step. For example, for the first part is about the words problem, basically on fraction words problem, working backwards and periodic problems. We find out that the first very low accuracy question is on fraction. It goes we only have an accuracy over 60%, which is quite difficult, right? So let's just see how we can do this question. It says, Helen sold watermelons at a farmer market last weekend. She sold 1 out of 3 watermelons on the first day and 3 out of 5 of the remaining watermelons on the second day. Now we need to look at this. 1 out of 3 of the watermelon and 3 out of 5 of the remaining watermelons. Are we talking about the same things here? Do they refer to the same thing? 1 over 3 of the watermelon, would it be the same as the remaining watermelons that we are talking about? Five, which is it's this part of it. So 3 out of 5, which is for the second day. Now it says after both days, she had 48 watermelon left. How many watermelon did Helen have at first? That means we are going back to the whole big thing. So now if we already find out that 48 is for 2 small units, that means for 2 small units that goes to 48, then 1 small unit actually refers to 24. That means this part 24, this part also 24. So for the whole remaining after the first day, it's supposed to be 5 such small units, which would go to 120 watermelon. This 120 watermelon actually refers to this whole part, which basically talking about 2 big unit. 2 big unit refers to 120 watermelon. Then what about 1 big unit we are looking at? Which is supposed to be 120 divided by 2 to go to 60 watermelon, right? So for 60 watermelon here, altogether for 3 unit as at first, so 3 big unit refers to 3 groups of 60, which give you 180. That's how we can go to the answer, 180 watermelon at first. Moral of the story, for this kind of the fraction words problem, you first need to notice for the fraction we are referring to, do they talk about the same thing? If they are talking about the same thing, then we should find out the common denominator and cut them into the equal part first. Else, just like this one, 1/3 of the watermelons and 3/5 of the remaining watermelons, they are not talking about the same thing. That's when we don't need any common denominators to it. So we just take out the first part first. For the remaining part, cut into 5 equal parts and do it step by step. This is for the fraction words problem. Then we talk about working backwards. This is also one of the very, very difficult parts that we are having, right? That is about Alicia and Jermaine bought some sweet. So first, A gave 2 more than half of her sweets to G, which means we should draw 2 train diagrams. One is for A and one is for G. It goes A gave 2 more than half. Always we should do the half first, which means we should do the half divided by 2 first. Then give 2 more, which means from her basket, she still need to take out 2 more. Okay, I will just make it smaller, all right? Since we are drawing a very long train diagram for A and G. So 2 half first, which is divided by 2, and taking out 2 more to give her, which is minus 2, to go to the end for the 2 more than half first. All right. But then this one also happened to G. Does it mean that it's supposed to be times 2 and plus 2 as the opposite way? No way. So for all these 2 steps, for G, that means she is getting something. But we don't know. It's all right. Later we will find out. And continue for the next step. Is G then decided to give 3 less than half of her candy to L? That the question means we should always do the 3 less first or the half first. Always we should do the half first, which is divided by 2. Then 3 less that she didn't give out. That is what she need to put back into the basket. And also something happened to A. Does it mean times 2 and minus 3? No. Here, actually, it refers to she is getting something, but we don't know. It doesn't matter, we can find out, right? And in the end, they have some candies. It says, in the end, A has 108 sweet. This is 108 sweet, and which is 42 more sweet than G. So for G, it's supposed to be 108. Take away that 42 more, which is actually 66. Now we can just work backwards. I use another color to show you work backwards. Plus 3, we work backwards, supposed to be minus 3 to go to 63. Divided by 2 here, it goes to times 2, which refers to 126. Then you might ask me, then how can we go to the others? How can we go to the others? Hey guys, don't forget, from 126 all the way to 66, actually, she is taking out 60. Where did this 60 go? This 60 is given to A. So for A, that means she is getting 60. When we do backwards, we should minus that 60 to go to 48. Same steps should be done to A. Minus 2, we go backward, plus 2 to go to 50. Divided by 2, here is supposed to be times 2, right? Which is supposed to be 100. So then again, from 100 to 48 is supposed to be given out 52. This 52 was given to G. So when we work backwards, we should minus this 52 and go to 74. That's how we go to the answer 74. Yes, it is. What's in your mind is always to think of this is working backwards problem, and you should draw the train diagram. And also you can also use the sum never change. It's once you find out the sum here is 108 plus 66, which is 174. Then you can also go backwards one by one to go to each of them by using 174 minus 1 and to get to the other one. This is one very complicated one already. All right, once you get this done, everything is easy. After that, we also have some periodic problems, like say if June the 8th falls on Friday. So which day of the week will 16 September falls on? Oh, this question we only got more than 58% correct. Very difficult, right? First, you need to know that is how many days later. So starting from June all the way to the last day of June, which is 30 of June, that would be 30, take away 8, that gives you 22 days later, right? Then continue from the 13th of June all the way to the 1st of July, which is 1 day later. From the first day of July to the last day of July, which is 31st, which is 30 days later. Then from the 31st July all the way to 1st August, then there would be 1 day later. Right? Continue. From the 1st August all the way to the last day of August, which is 31st August, there will be 30 days later. Then you need to go to the next month, which is 1st of the September, which is 1 day later. Right? Then don't forget you are going to the 16th of September, which is actually 15 days later. You just add them up. 22 days later plus 1 more day later plus 30 days later plus 1 day later plus 30 days later plus 1 more day later plus 15 days later, which is 22 plus 1 plus 30 plus 1 plus 30 plus 1 plus 15. You can go to 100 days later. So for 100 days later, are you counted it one by one? No way, this is periodic problem. That means we need to take them as week. So for 100 days later, that refers to how many weeks later and how many days later. So 100 divided by 7, you will find out that actually there are 14 weeks. And remaining 2. That means after 14 weeks, it will still be Friday. 2 more days later, which would be a Saturday, and then a Sunday, which you will go to the answer Sunday. This is about the periodic problem, right? The periodic problem, actually, we always find out the pattern groups and then to go to the remaining. For the remaining 2, that means 1 day later and 2 days later, which refers to a Sunday. Very easy one, right? But then we will find out there will be another question, which would be like, say, 53% correct only. That is the calendar starts on Monday. So what is the 101st day on the calendar? That is something you need to pay attention to. The 101st day, that means what? That means how many days later? Actually, that means 100 days later. That's something you need to pay attention to. 101st day. That means 1 day later, starting from the first day, that goes to the second day, right? 2 days later, 3 days later, all the way to 100 days later, you go to 101st day. When you find out it is 100 days later, all the same, just like the previous one, right? So you can just use 100 divided by 7 days a week. You would get 14 remainder 2 again. 14 means 14 weeks. So 14 weeks later, you will still get a Monday. Remaining 2 days, that means 2 more days later, which is a Tuesday, then a Wednesday. If so, the answer is supposed to be a Wednesday. Good to hear. This is easy. Very good to hear. So this is a periodic problem with only 53% correct. Then we go to the calculation problem. For the calculation problem, to my surprise, all right, actually, we got one question lower than 56%, 57%, which is 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9 all the way to plus 97. The sum of the sequence, a special sequence. How can we do it? All right, actually for this one, first thing first, from 1 all the way to 97, you can just find out the numbers of terms first. That means in this sequence, how many terms are there? Which is from the first term 1 all the way to the 97. Is supposed to be the common difference 97 minus 1 to go to common difference 96. Between each of the term, you got a common difference 2. So you divide it by 2 to see how many such common difference are there. And don't forget, we should always have one more common difference or one more terms. We have one more terms, right? Begins with term, ends with term, so have one more term. So you still need to add it back as one more term. Then you will get there actually 49 terms. That means you got 49 such number. Then for the sum, how can you find out? Mu prefers the double train method, which is the first number plus the last number and times how many numbers, then divided by 2, since you got double train. Right? Which means we rearrange the numbers again, starting from 97 plus 95 plus 93 all the way back to plus 1. So you can just group each of the pair of the numbers by the double train method. All right, this is what teacher Apple taught before, right? Then you can go to the answer 2401. So this is about the sum. Right? Very easy, right? Then we go further, which is about the combinatory matchstick set number. Yeah, which is conducted by Mu previous week, right? So for this number, do you still remember how we go through it? It's like a question like this. This is a question which is the lowest accuracy we get for the whole bootcamp. All right, which is like this. Imagine that you are given 15 matchsticks and must use them all. The sum of the biggest 4-digit number that we can form and the smallest number we can form is. Oh, guys, this question is a little bit long. You need to understand what we are talking about first. It's like we are making the biggest 4-digit number with 15 matchsticks. And we are also making the smallest number with these matchsticks. Then find out the sum. This is what it meant. If so, Mu mentioned that every time we do such a question, we should always find out each of the digit, how many matchsticks we need, right? Which means for 0, we need 6. For 1, we need 2. For 2, we need 5. For 3, we also need 5. For 4, we need 4. For 5, we need 5. For 6, we need 6. For 7, we need 3. For 8, we need 7. And for 9, we need 6. This is always the first step related to the matchstick problem. Then we can go to the biggest 4-digit. Right? Since it told you it's a 4-digit number, mu must be here. So 4-digit number. There must be 1,000, 100, tens, and ones. 4-digit, right? And the very important thing is we should always start from the biggest, the highest place, which is the thousands place. For the thousands place, if you want to make it as big as possible, we should make it. Any idea? Of course, we should make it 9. When we make it a 9, we use up 6 matchsticks. Then we go to the 100. Can we also make it a 6 matchstick with 9? Don't forget, altogether we only have 15 matchsticks. That means we only got 3 matchsticks left. For 3 matchsticks, yes, we can make a 1 and go to a 2, but one last matchstick, can we make any digit? Cannot already, right? Which means we cannot have only 3 left for 2 digits. If so, then we try to make as big as possible, which is 8. Shall we make it an 8 with 7 matchsticks? If so, then we only have 2 matchsticks left. Then we can only make a 1. What about the last digit? Not possible. All right. Then what we can make as the next bigger digit must be 7 with 3 matchsticks used. When we have 3 matchsticks used, then we still have 6 matchsticks. Can we use them up with only 1 digit? No. What we can make it for 2 digits and make it as big as possible is 3 for each digit and go to 7 and 7. Then that is when you can get to the biggest 4-digit number is 9,777. Then I change another color to go to the smallest number. Since it said it's the smallest number refers to what? Smallest number refers to that's supposed to be the fewest digit as you can. Is it possible for 50 matches stick you only make a 1-digit number? Cannot, right? You only make 1-digit number, use all the 50 matches stick. It's not possible. Is it possible to make it 2 digits? You will find out that the biggest number is 7. If you make it a 2 digit, 7 matches stick, 7 matches sticks, only 14 matches sticks, not enough. So that means for the smallest possible number you can make, at least it must have 3 digits. Just now I mentioned, because altogether we have 50 matches sticks, there are a lot of matches sticks. So that's why you need to make sure that the smallest possible digit number you can make is what? Like this part, you cannot make a 1-digit number with 50 matches sticks. Also, it is not possible to make a 2-digit number with 50 matches sticks. That's when you will find out that the smallest number you can make, at least it must be a 3 digits. If so, then try to make it the smallest 3 digits as you can. Can we make a 0 here? Of course cannot, right? Cannot. So that's why you should start with the smallest possible one with only 2 digits. Since you are making it as small as possible, which means for here it's supposed to be a 0, which you use 6 matches stick. Then what? Then we should go to what? Yes, then we should continue going to the another one, which is you still have 7 matches stick left for the last digit, which is supposed to be 8. That's when you will find out that the smallest number you can make. Though it didn't mention how many digits it is, you still can find out it's the smallest possible number, which is a 3 digit, and go to 267. Since the question is asking for the sum of these two numbers, you add them up and you find out the answer is 9,885. Yes, the whole lesson will be conducted in English. Yes. All right. So this is the lowest accuracy question we have for the whole bootcamp. I hope I can explain it well now. All right. When it is done, let's go to the last topic on number theory, which conducted by teacher Apple this Tuesday. So first is on how many different digits can be filled in the square that makes the number below divisible by 3. So do you remember divisible by 3 refers to what? Divisible by 3 refers to what? Divisible by 3, that means what? That means the digit sum can also be divisible by 3. So let's go to the digit sum first. For the digit sum here, which is supposed to be 1 plus 4 plus 5 plus the square we are looking at plus 8. And you do the things you can do first. You will find out it is 18 plus a square. Now that you want to know that this 18 plus a square can be divisible by 3 also, so then you can just start with the number which can be divisible by 3. For example, 18 is divisible by 3. Then you can go to the square, which is a 0. Right? And continue. Also, what is it? Next number which can be divisible by 3 is supposed to be 21. So it's supposed to be 18 plus the square. Inside the square must be 3. And continue. The next possible digit number which can be divisible by 3 is supposed to be 24. So it's supposed to be 18 plus 6. Then the next number which can be divisible by 3 is supposed to be 27. So it's supposed to be 18 plus 9. Should I continue? Should I continue? Like 30 also can be divisible by 3. So then I will go to 30, which gives me 18 plus 12. Can I? Cannot. Inside the square, we can only put it at one digit, which means we can just stop at 9. Altogether, you count it and you will find it. It's supposed to be digit 0, digit 3, digit 6, digit 9. And since the question is asking how many different digits, which refers to altogether 4. So far, are we good for this one? It's only about the divisibility of 3. Divisibility of 3, that means the digit sum is also divisible by 3. Then we go to a very crazy question, but more than half of the students do it correctly because this one, yes, it is a little bit difficult. For this question, what it refers to is actually it says a school purchased 90 units of the equipment. 90 units of the equipment. That means 90 pieces of equipment. And the total price on the invoice is partially unclear, like this. Only shows you like 80,000, 80 something thousand, 540 something. Do you know the price of each unit of the equipment? That means first you need to find out the total first and divide it by 90 to find out each pieces of the equipment. So that means this 80,000 something, 540 something is divisible by 90. Now then you might say, mu for this part, 90, the divisibility rule of 90. We didn't learn that. So how can we do it? Guys, when you go to a number that you don't know, well done. When you go to the number you don't know, you can just split it up into the numbers you know. If it is divisible by 90, that means this number shall also be divisible by both 10 and 9. This is also teacher Apple mentioned. Yeah, good. When it is divisible by 10 and 9, then you can just go backwards here. 8 square, 5, 4 something. It is divisible by 10, which refers to the last digit must be 0. Then we just go back to the question that we just did, which is 8 plus a square plus 5 plus 4 plus 0 for the digit sum, which is also divisible by 9. So you will find out that the digit sum here is 17 plus a square. 17 plus a square is divisible by 9. Then you need to think of the number which is divisible by 9. First thing first, 18 is divisible by 9. So the square can be 1. We can continue trying, which is 27, also divisible by 9. So 27 is 17 plus 10. Can I put 10 in the square? Cannot, right? So that's when there is only one answer, which you will go to the course 81540. That's not the end. That's not the end. Since we are looking at each of the equipment, that means we still need to use the total price 81,540 divided by 90 units of the equipment, which you will in the end go to $906 each. That's how we can go to each pieces of equipment. Thank you so much. That's how we talk about the numbers theory, the easy pieces of the divisibility. And thank you so much. Actually, starting from now, all our phase 1 activity for the preparation of GEP has done. Starting from the online webinar, starting at the 24th of April, all the way to now, today, the 6th of July, we finished all the things. And I must say congratulations to all the kids. And especially, I would say a very big thank you to all the parents who support us for such a long time. Starting from the 24th of April all the way to the 6th of July, we've been through the webinar, the mock test, the short-term courses, the very basic modular bootcamp, and the preparation, and also the short-term courses. So the phase one for the enhance of the basic knowledge has been done. And starting from tomorrow, we are going to phase two. So for phase two, it will go more intensive for the preparation of GEP, which we will have the upcoming short-term courses on the speed training. The speed training will be an online and in-person classes at the same time. So later we will just open the enrollment for the short-term courses. And also there will be upcoming short-term courses starting from the 23rd of July, which will be the mock test and the analysis lesson, which will be the next week. We will just open the registration. And for the 10th of August, there will be an offline mock test. And also from the 12th of August to the 15th of August, there will be an online intensive training for the rescue kit. And the 21st of August, that is the screening round for the GEP. Yes, it's very, very close. It's very, very soon. That's why we will start the phase two directly from tomorrow. All right. So for phase two, as I mentioned, the upcoming online and in-person short-term courses will be here. I will just make myself smaller. Oh, cannot. I'm not sure whether we can scan through here. So later I will just send this part to the group also. So for this one is actually the short-term courses in upcoming. Oh, it can be scanned. So this is the short-term courses for the upcoming Saturday, which is next Saturday, starting from the 12th of July to the 2nd of August, of the offline classes. The offline classes will be conducted at Tyson at every Saturday, 4:30 to 6:30. You can scan the code to get enrolled. Or you can also choose the online classes. We are having the same teacher doing the same content for the speed training. And the online courses will be every Friday, starting from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., starting from next Friday, which is 11th July, all the way to 1st of August. And once again, I need to mention this is for the current students. It will be totally free. So just scan the code and register for it. All right, I will repeat. You just scan the code and register for not just the online, but also the offline class. Or you can just choose either way. Because we are going through the same lesson, the same content, the same teacher. And the very important aim for this part is for the speed training. Since I mentioned at the very, very first of the webinar, GEP is more on the speed. That means you need to know for each of the question what it talks about and what is the fastest way to solve certain question. So that's when now you can just register for it by scanning the QR code. Then again, it's totally free, completely free for current students. You don't need to pay for anything, but you still need to register. I repeat, for the current student, you don't need to pay, but you still need to register. That means you still need to scan the code and then finish the registration process. You don't need to pay anything, but you still need to register. All right. So this is for the GEP Math Speed Training. And also another thing is about our trial class. Since this is the end of our first phase, then some of you might notice that for certain topics, your kid or yourself is not very familiar with. So I will invite some of you which is very interested in our lesson, not just for the online webinar like this, but also the more interactive lesson for the in-person classes. We are offering the Math Fire Achiever by Teacher Apple, Teacher Yonglam, Teacher Charlene, and Teacher Renata. So these are the time slot. If you feel interest on this, please just go direct to the group and contact Teacher Apple. She is in charge of the in-person classes for primary 3, right? And also, we also provide online classes, which would be conducted by Teacher Charlene and Teacher Michelle, which is on the small classes. We have the maximum number of students, which is 12. And these are the time slot we are having every week. If you feel interested on the online trial classes, please feel free to come to Mew, because Mew is in charge of the online classes for primary 3. So if you are interested in the small class or medium class, which has the maximum numbers of 20, which is totally conducted by Mew. Mew is having the medium class of the maximum numbers of 20 students. And these are the time slots we are having. we feel very welcome to go to you are very welcome to come to our trial lessons that you can just direct contact me and we can just have a trial lesson for the lesson we are having. So basically, these are the topics, and later I will just send to the groups. And this week we are coming to lesson 4, which is the acid and shortage problem. And I know that this is a very familiar topic because this topic would be tested not just in GEP but also in SESMO competition, right? And follow up, we are coming to the rate, psychology problem, calendar problem, chicken rabbit problem. The more you look in the syllabus, the more familiar you will feel because for all these topics, very, very common, not just in GEP, but also in competition. Some parents might also ask me, like, say, after GEP, what should we do to math? We should stick to the every topic step by step and do a very, very solid foundation for kids to go. So then again, I will invite you guys to come to our not just online, but also the in-person trial class. If you feel interested in any of these classes, please feel free to contact Teacher Apple if you are going to the in-person class or online classes to Teacher Me. Thank you so much. And this is the end for our first phase of the GEP preparation. And for the upcoming phase, which is starting with these short-term courses, please just get the QR code above to register for our short-term courses. Thank you so much. And this is the end for our advanced modular bootcamp. See you guys after this. And we are coming to the phase 2, which is starting with the GEP speed training and also the short-term course of the mod test analysis. See you there. And you're welcome to our trial lesson also. Thank you so much and see you guys.